G'day, welcome to the show. Salt Covers here. Winning night last night, plus 1.4 units. That's four straight winning nights. Up around 20, 22 units last four nights. Over March, almost 40 units in March. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We hit 50 subscribers yesterday. Love to see that. Comment down below any questions, anything you want to argue, anything you disagree with. I'll have all of it. Looking back, we had the Nets and Pacers under 231. That was about as sweat-free of a bet as you can make. That game went to overtime and it only got to 210. So love to see that. We hit that as soon as it opened. We also tried to play a middle, Knicks and Hornets. We had the over 221.5, under 225.5. We definitely like the under better than the over, and we played an extra unit on that. Last had the Lakers +4. We bet that before Luka got ruled out. We saw the market moving back towards the Bucks. Love fading the Bucks. We think they're frauds here, but they get it done today against a zombie Lakers team. But winning night, love to see that. We got 9 games on the slate today, so lots to get through. It'll be a long episode as we do on these big slates. Make sure you go follow me at Salt Covers on Twitter. I will tweet out every bet I place over there first. By the time we get here, hit record, some of the bets might be gone, as we'll see with a few of these bets we have down today. So this is not the first game we're looking at, is it? Not this one either. Not this one, that was yesterday. There we go, all right. Let's get the current odds up on screen as well. So first we have the Magic and Wizards. Yeah, both teams coming into this off losses. Magic, they have been starting to play a bit better, but they did lose at home as slight underdogs against the Rockets. Wizards lost in the Tankathon game of the year against the Jazz. The Wizards lost that game, but they actually won. Now we see a spread that opened at Magic -7, 6.5 at the rec books. Now at -8, moved towards the Magic. Do I really want to lay now 8 points on the Magic on the road? No. We have this game projected at Wizards +5.5. Do I want to bet the Wizards who are trying to lose? I saw them play the Blazers. They at halftime they removed Jordan Poole and Chris Middleton from the starting lineup. They started 2 G Leaguers instead in the second half. Look, I got nothing on this game. There are a lot of great spots on today. I'm not going to waste your time talking about the Washington Wizards. Total hasn't budged at all. Let's get this shit off my screen. Next, we have the Rockets in Miami. Like these poor Heat fans, man. They've lost 9 straight. They thought they were going to get their first win, and then Cade hits a game winner on Bam. Great shot there. Glad like that Pistons -5, -6 versus the Heat. That was just begging you to take the Pistons. Glad I didn't get on them for that game. Here we see spread at 5.5. Hasn't really moved much. We got this game projected at Rockets -6.2. Rockets are good against the spread on the road, going 20-12 against the spread on the road. They did just come off a nice win against Orlando. Heat, yeah, losing 9 straight. The last win was against the Wizards. Yeah, I lean Rockets. I haven't bet this spread. I just don't want to be on the wrong side of the Heat when they finally win, when they finally break this losing streak. We saw the total open at 213.5, now at 214.5. We can see 215s on the board as well, so bit of movement towards the over. We got a projected total at 216.5, so right there with the current total. Let's move on. Again, lots of good spots on the board. Neither of these first 2 games are ones that I like. Here we go. We've got a game that I've got a lot of action in. I've got a lot of action on just in general today. I think I've got over 15, 20 units staked across all these games. Like, it is going to be a make or break day today. But I do like most of the spots that we've got. Here we have the Wolves hosting the Pelicans, game 2 of a baseball series where the Pelicans won as 13-point underdogs outright in Minnesota. Now back in Minnesota, spread back at 13.5, 14. So this spread, it is like just kind of begging you to take the Pelicans. Like they just won outright in Minnesota. Now they're getting 14 points again. Like, why not? This is why not. So teams in the Wolves spot where they lost as home favorites versus the same team again at home. 55% against the spread over 180 games. This number gets to 57% when the home team was favored by 5 points or more in game 1. Like, we have a Pelicans team, like they got their 1-game boost. Trey Murphy out for the season. You know how it is when a team loses a star player. That next game, maybe the game after, all the other players pick it up, they focus. They generally cover pretty well in that, especially that first game. But let's not forget, Pelicans without Trey Murphy, 5-12 against the spread. Pelicans still the worst team in the league on the road against the spread, going 10-25. I've got this game projected at Wolves -17. We have some great angles to back the Wolves. Wolves now lost 2 straight as like 10-point home favorites. This is still a good team. The net rating speaks for itself. I think they're like 6th or 7th in the league in net rating. We're back in the Wolves -14. This is probably the biggest spread I've laid since recording YouTube videos. I generally do not like laying this many points, but I expect the Wolves to show up. Like, they are in a tight race for the 6th seed. Like, Golden State, Clippers, and Timberwolves are separated by a game to avoid the play-in. I know all 3 of those teams do not want to get in the play-in. So we're back in the Wolves -14. 13.5 still available as well. So we're a bit behind most of the market here. Circa still has 14. So at least we're not behind Circa. That's what I like to see. We also like the under in this game. So again, like in this spot where home favorite lose outright, make the exact same team in game 2, the under is 57%. Just blind betting it. You be in the green, blind betting every under. This is a game where the Pelicans in game 1, they shot 52% from the field. They shot 45% from 3. That game was slightly below league average in the East. Zion, like, he should be playing this game, but you can never like rule out this late in the season. Pelicans, like, they don't have anything to play for. They do not want to win this game. So we made under 229, that to 3 units. I realized I haven't even brought up Carabas. We sit at 228. You can pick up a 228.5. I'll pay that. Projections I made 227.5, 228. So not much of an edge there, but I do look for the Wolves to be a lot better defensively. I look for Pelicans to shoot as well as games. Circa moved this overrun down a full point. We see another sharp look with 227.5, so I'd like to see that. We have also played a small parlay on both of these spots. I feel like if we get one of them right and get both of them back, we played third of the unit for both Minnesota -14 and then under 229. That's something we can do. This is the first parlay I've placed since recording YouTube videos. Do not bet parlays. You don't have to listen to me to hear it. Like, there are much smarter people out there who can explain why not to bet parlays, but we're doing it here just for a very small fraction of a unit. Lots of games to get through. Next, we have the Charlotte Hornets in OKC on a back-to-back spot. Biggest spread of the season. This game opened at the rec books at -17.5. It opened at the sharp books at OKC -20. we have this game projected at OKC minus 27, but if you think I'm playing into a 20-point spread, nah, I'm not doing it. Like, no way. 20 points is just wild. I mean, I'm not certainly not backing the Hornets on a back-to-back plus 20 either, but we see this at 19.5. LaMelo Ball will not play this game. He has not played a back-to-back since the All-Star break, and I think even before that, he has rarely played back-to-backs. He will not play this game. I think that's priced into the spread, but looking at the under though, we saw the rec books open this at 230.5, and we do not think they priced in LaMelo not playing, because we hit this hard. We hit this for 4 units. Hornets 9-3 to the under with no rest, 41-21 to the under as underdogs. They are the best under team in the league. We always look to back the under when you see a Hornets total at 230 or more. Just not a great total, especially with LaMelo like not sitting, not playing. We've seen cases where LaMelo gets ruled out and the Hornets total moves like 7 points. Now sitting at 224.5, we are sitting on a great ticket. I hope you got that when I tweeted it out. At Soul Covers, see it above me, so 224.5. I think this might have room to continue to dip. Maybe. We'll see. Let's keep it moving. Next, we have the Sixers and the Spurs. Two of the two worst defenses in the NBA since the All-Star break. Oh my god, this total is plummeting as well. So, look, spread. Just going to keep it short and sweet. I have absolutely no opinion on the spread. I can use projections for this game, but there's just so many injuries, like so many people not playing for this team. Like, how the fuck do you price them all? Like, just ignore that. What I did do is I played the under 240.5, played that for 3 units. I have zero opinion on this total. All I did was I saw that most of the books had moved down to 238.5. I saw FanDuel or Sportsbet laying 240.5. I was like, yep. I don't have an opinion on this game, but I'll take 2 points of CLV every single day. And then like 10 minutes later, the entire board moves up to like 241. And then I'm like, fuck, like, that's not good. So I also tweeted it out that I might dump this ticket. Now we see the total at 236. Circa at 236 as well. So yeah, look, 236 now. 2 worst defenses in the NBA since the All-Star break. Both over teams, but Sixers are paced down teams. Sixers have just been catching over steam for like 6 out of the last 7 games. Again, I just don't have much an opinion on this total, but I looked at the line movement and played under, and here we are with 4 points of CLV. Like, these are bad defenses, but there are just so many guys out as well. Now at 236.5, not worth playing into. No, we've already done that game. We have the Pistons and Mavericks next. Man, I've got so much action down this game. It's either going to be a really good day or a really shit day. Firstly, we saw this line open at Pistons minus 9.5 at the rec books, minus 8.5 at the sharp books. We see that there's still a Pistons minus 8.5 at Bet365, but we've seen Circa move this to 9.5. We see some other books starting to have 9s. We got this game projected at Pistons almost minus 12. Pistons are great as a road favorite. They are 10-4 against the spread as road favorites, 22-12 against the spread on the road. I've got in my notes that I'm looking to take the Pistons, but I saw Circa move to 9.5. Most of the rec books still at 8.5. Like, I'm tailing. I'm going to tell you, Circa. Anytime you can get a point of CLV against Circa, you go and grab it. Pistons riding high off a Cade game winner. Dallas, bit of bit of a shit spot coming in off a game where they should have beaten the Pacers. Looking at the total as well, we tweeted both of these plays out like just before we hit record. When we took an under 234.5, we saw the rec books open at 234.5. We saw this total get up to 235.5, but then it's just started shooting down. Projections like the under. Played that for 2 units. Played Pistons minus 8.5 for 2 units. Now the total's at 232.5. You can still grab a Pistons minus 8.5. I'd definitely go grab that. Wouldn't play into an under 232.5. Celtics and Jazz, just a bit of a gross game. Jaylen Brown is out. Most of the Jazz are in besides Larry Markkinen. Zero opinion on this game. I'd say Jazz. Like, gun to my head, Jazz, but there's not betting here. Like, Celtics are a lot better against the spread on the road versus at home. They just need to win this game. They do not need to cover. Is this a Danny Ainge revenge game? Let's move on. Cavs and Suns up next. This will be a really good game to watch. I know the Cavs are going to be desperate for a win. We saw this game open at Cavs minus 7.5 at the rec books. Sharp books open this at Cavs minus 7. We've now seen most of the board move to minus 8. We see Circa still at 7.5. I think there are 7.5 still available. Most of the board is at 8. A few other sharp books are at 8. One sharp book's even giving you a juiced 8 as well. So this is just a desperation spot for the Cavs and the Suns. Third worst team against the spread. Like, this is going to be a great game to watch either way. But again, just following the market here, projected line at Cavs minus 7.4. Now, part of that accounts for the fact that they've lost 3 straight, so the projections aren't going to be as good. I don't care. They will have Darius Garland back. Like, who on Phoenix is going to guard Garland or Mitchell? We saw these teams playing Cleveland about 2 months ago. Cavs won by 25. Cavs 18-2 straight up against bottom 10 defenses. Phoenix are not going to be able to guard this Cavs team. Looking at the total, we saw this total open at 240. It is now at 238. 237.5 at Bet365. Projections like the over, market likes the under. Here's a crazy trend. The Cavs 20-3 to the over against the West. That's like 90%. Suns over at home, just less than 40%. So a few angles pulling you in either direction. We see the market at market moving under. Not going to chase that steam, so let's move on. Cavs 7.5 still available as far as I know. Next we have the Nuggets and the Trailblazers. Jokic is out. Murray questionable, Gordon probable. Man, Gordon, like, he's got to be exhausted. Like, he's like the number 1 option these last 3 games. Like, he's probably never like gotten this many touches in his life. And he's been balling as well. He's been shooting it so well. Like, he's a legit shooter now. Like, crazy. Just leave Orlando and you can start shooting. So we got this game projected out as a pick'em, but that accounts for Jokic being in the lineup. We've seen Jokic get ruled out and the spread move like 6-7 points. Not gonna overthink this. Like, if Jokic is worth 6 points to a spread and the Blazers opened as a pick'em, there's an edge towards the Blazers. I'm backing the Blazers. We backed Blazers money line at around minus 108, minus 109, $1.93. We backed that for 3 units. Now seeing the money line at like minus $1.183. I don't know these American odds. Again, not much of an opinion on this game, but the Nuggets, like, they're past the period where they will play well without Jokic. Like, this is the 3rd straight game without Jokic. Gordon's got to be tired. Now Blazers -1.5. If you can find a -1, go and grab it. Looking at the total, yeah, projections love the over, but again, that accounts for Jokic being in the lineup. We saw the rec books open this at 228.5. Sharp books open this at 225.5. Hasn't really moved much since. I don't have much of an opinion on this total, so let's keep it moving. We had the Blazers money line for 3 units. Next, my Clippers and the Grizzlies. Grizzlies were so good against the spread before the All-Star break. Like, they were just a covering machine after a loss in back-to-backs. Like, they were just such a good team to back, and now they've just been horrible against the spread after the All-Star break. Clippers coming off our best win of the season against the Cavs. Could be a little bit of a letdown spot. Grizzlies lost 2 straight games against the Blazers and the Kings. Like, that was a bad showing against the Blazers. They were down the entire game. Ja is out this game. Brandon Clark is also out this game, which that's like almost just as important as Ja. Like, the Grizzlies' best defensive unit has Clark at the 4, Triple J at the 5, where they can just switch everything. He can also play some small ball center, and yeah, he's really important for this Grizzlies team. Projections have this at Clippers -4, so now it's 6.5. Bit of an edge for the Grizzlies now. I did have a bet on the Clippers at -6.5. I played that because I saw Circa at 7.5. Had it down at Bet365 at 7.5, at 6.5. Board started moving towards 7.5, and then it just got slammed down to back to 6.5. Now we see Circa moving it back to 7. I cashed out my bet at 6.5. Now that would be a good ticket. Let's just see. Let's just refresh this odds screen. See, still at 6.5. Do I really want to bet it and then cash it out and then bet it again? Like, just so many tweets. I've got so much fucking action on today. I'm just gonna hold off. Maybe I'll tweet it out. Maybe I won't. We will see. The spot I like better, as you can see on the screen, there is a massive edge to the over. We got this game projected at 236.5. This game opened at 229.5. We picked up an over 229.5 for 3 units, now seeing it at 231. This total could climb up a bit more, in my opinion, as well. No Ja does hurt the over, but the Grizzlies will still play fast. Fastest team in the league. Norm Powell back in the lineup for the Clippers. He's huge for our offense, so the over is the stronger play in my opinion. Maybe I'll get back on the Clippers, but it is kind of a bit shitty to those who are tailing me. Like, I cash a bet out and then play it again, just reading the board, but maybe I'll do it. I don't do it often. I did do it once for a Clippers game where I cashed out the bet and because of some line movement, and it ended up winning. The Sharps lost that pick, but let's get into our best bets. This screen might not be big enough for all the action I've got on today. Wow, 9 bets on today. Jesus. So my favorite bet on the board, but it's no longer available, under 230. We also like Wolves -14 and the under that game. Prime bounce back spot for the Wolves. Again, I'm not going to read out all of these bets. In terms of what you can play right now, Pistons -8.5, Cavs -7.5. Wolves -14 still there. Definitely don't go chase steam with the Sixers or the Hornets unders, nor the Grizzlies and Clippers over, but the rest of those bets still there, still available. Again, if you want to tail, as soon as I bet them, right up there, you can see it at Sold Covers. If I see you're like active in the NBA community or like the gambling community, I'll give you a follow back as well. So go follow me on there. Until next time, let's get them books sold.